fiercely proud of herself? Black bitches are stupid. She's fiercely independent, not regularly independent, but fiercely independent. She's fiercely proud of herself, not just proud of herself, but fiercely proud of herself. Thank you, Dirty D. She just represents so many different people. I would argue she's the face of America. Who can relate to this bitch? How is 7% of society the face of America? Yes, a black woman wrote this. How is 7% of society the face of that society? Again, these are the same motherfuckers that was Mama's Cooking is the greatest shit ever, and it's been around a motherfucking month and a half. We gotta protect him at all costs. He's been around a month and a half. It don't matter. She's the face of America. You didn't even know her name last week. It don't matter. She what America's supposed to be. Last year, you didn't even know how to say this bitch's name. It don't matter. And I just want to throw it out there. People have started to use, Bomani Jones used one of the disses I used against Kwame Brown. That he said he bought his mama a house at 18 years old. He didn't get drafted till he was 19. I told y'all the things I was saying about Kwame Brown were true, and people were going to start using them. That's why all them niggas wanted me to stop making videos, because my videos weren't just jokes. They were just the truth. Right, Alex? All he does is lie. I'm going to show y'all. I would do it probably tomorrow or something. He went off on people who weren't even, he just go after anybody. The people weren't even dissing him. They were doing their job. He went off on them. Kept calling the white boy, then said the white boy was racist while calling him a white boy. And let's get into that later, though. I got to still read this. She is so fiercely independent. She's so fiercely proud of herself. She just represents so many people. I would argue she's the face of America. When Dylan learned of Richardson's suspension for a test positive for marijuana, announced Friday by the U.S. anti-doping agency, she was heartbroken. In an NBC interview, Richardson said she used marijuana to help cope with the sudden death of her biological mother. First off, she didn't say that. Do y'all understand that she was led to say that by Savannah Guthrie or whatever the fuck that whore's name is? Y'all know this, right? She didn't say it. The woman said, "You only took weed because of such and such, right? Right?" They were giving her an excuse for doing this. And they keep saying biological mother. She used marijuana to help cope with the certain death of her biological mother. Why do they keep saying this shit? Oh, because the mother wasn't there. So many of us are rubbing cannabis on ourselves for pain or taking it right now for anxiety, and she does the same thing with the same plant, and her dreams are crushed for it. So many of us are rubbing cannabis on ourselves for pain, taking it right now for anxiety, and she does the same thing with the same plant, and her dreams are crushed for it. Yes, like so many of us are taking NyQuil just so we can get through the night or so we can go to work and not have a cold, but so many athletes are taking that same NyQuil and getting suspended. So many of us is doing OnlyFans and getting the dick sucked, but if the president does it, he'll get suspended. So many of us is out here cussing our ass off, which is legal, but if the Pope does it, he probably will get suspended. This is why they won't bring me on to their shows. How many of y'all have started to realize how I argue against people and have just started to do the same thing when you talk to people? How many of you have I shown y'all how easy it is to beat people in an argument because dumb people will defeat their own argument? Let them. Dumb people will say dumb shit that will only apply it to the shit they're saying. It only sounds good to stupid people who got blinders on. They can only see the next thing. I mean, they can only see the thing they have. They won't see past it. Sassy girl said, there you go, using words. Seriously, there are things that many of us can do that other people can't, right? There are things that I can do, like cuss a kid out. The teachers can't do it. And black women cuss their kids out all day. Find out a teacher cuss their kid out, and they want them fired. But when you catch them cussing their kid out, they'll say, it's my kid, I can do what I want. There's so many things that you and I can do that an athlete can't. Let me give you something else that you and I can do, you jackass. We can weigh as much as we want. We can be as slow as we want and still do our job. She can't. Is that fair? By your logic, ma'am, in regular work, we have what they call, what is that when I forgot what it is. Y'all know I'm getting old and I smoke too much. We have that thing, what they call, where they give black people, where they're trying to give black people a leg up, or working companies. Shit, why am I drawing a blank? What's that called? Y'all know what it's called, that bullshit where they try to get more blacks into a job or try to get more blacks into an industry. Affirmative action, shit. I don't know why I drew a blank. Affirmative action. Yeah, Sean said a handout. Yep. Affirmative action. So affirmative action forces someone who's not good enough to be in that job so they can show diversity. When are we going to start some affirmative action in basketball, football with wide receivers and cornerbacks and safeties and running backs? And on this track team, the Olympic track team, why don't they have affirmative action and say the third person on the relay team has got to be white or non-black because we can't have only blacks out here running? If it was only whites out there, they would be forcing, we need the first black. We need the first black. We need the first black. We need to get the first black. We need to get the first black out there. We need the first black. Yet we make fun of the fact that there are no whites doing the thing that we do. Y'all never thought about that? What do black people do when we see we rule a sport or run that sport? We make fun of white people. We don't say white people need to be here. We don't say there needs to be more white people, and white people can't say there needs to be more white people. We laugh and giggle at white people's faces. You can't do what we do. Ha 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 ha. We better at you than this. Ha 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 ha. But you say they're rubbing cannabis on them. And here's what's really stupid. She's saying this like weed is legal in the United States. She wrote this. So many of us are rubbing cannabis on ourselves for pain or taking it right now for anxiety. And she does the same thing with the same plant, and her dreams are crushed for it. How are her dreams crushed? By that logic, we shouldn't put anybody in jail because their dreams are crushed when they go to jail. Am I lying, ladies and gentlemen? Damn, I'm good. Let me give a closing argument. I will have your client arrested and they will add years. That same argument, you should not put somebody in jail for slapping his bitch. You should not. Let me tell you, if you don't believe she should be kicked off the team for breaking the rule, there's no man in America who should be put in jail for not paying child support. You've crushed his dream. First off, the bitch who had a kid with a nigga who I didn't want no kid by this bitch. Why does she get to crush my dream and eat off me every month? I didn't want people to know I got a random baby out there by a random bitch. Why does she get to crush my dream of being a nigga with no kids? Why does she get to do this? Mark said, my dreams and my sons were crushed going to fight for our country. Where's the logic? Where's the logic? Everybody who goes to jail, their dreams are crushed. And I'm not trying to be funny. Think about it. Everybody who pays a penalty, their dreams are crushed. What about when I don't pay my car note and they repossess my car? Are my dreams not crushed of having that BMW? What about when they foreclose on my house because I didn't pay the bill? Are my dreams not crushed of being a homeowner? What about when I cheat on my wife and she divorces me? Are my dreams not crushed by being a motherfucking husband, of being a husband? Yeah, Ray Rice's dreams was crushed. My man Ray Caruth, his dreams was crushed. Y'all care more about this girl breaking a fucking rule and being suspended for a month than y'all cared about Brian Williams. Brian, shit, I forgot his last name. Y'all, this weed is really fucking with me. Brian Banks, thank you. Shit, is it Brian Williams? Brian Banks. Brian Banks did 6.5 years in jail. Nobody gave a fuck for a crime he didn't commit. Black folks watched it, never said a fucking word. White people had to get him out. This motherfucker is not working. It don't work. This mic doesn't work. He went to jail for shit he didn't do. A black bitch put him there. You didn't get, and you won't get, this type of outrage from black people. But a person smokes weed, breaks a rule of an organization she willingly joined. They didn't put her in jail. They didn't fine her. They literally just told her, the rule applies to everyone. We're going to suspend you for less time than we would normally suspend other people. And they still are making this woman out to be a martyr. Everybody in the world is jumping on this shit and saying how fucked up it is. But Brian Banks spent 6 years of his life. Wasn't his dream crushed, you bitch? How is her dreams fucking crushed? The bitch sat there and said, I'm winning the gold next time I go. What dream was crushed? She crushed her own dream. It's like me overdrawing my own account and people talking about how sad it was that I got charged an overdraft fee. Now Bank of America gotta not charge me an overdraft fee because the overdraft fee was racist towards me because I'm black. And the white people who also were overdrawn at Bank of America can't say anything or ask for their overdrawn accounts that they got doxed for, that they got dinged for. They can't ask for that money back. Imagine black folks being white. I'm telling y'all, eventually white folks gonna get tired. That's why that little woman on ESPN spoke up. And now they're mad at her. More and more white people are going to get tired. More and more white people are going to get tired when they see, wait a minute, the black bitch can smoke weed now, but my white kid smokes same weed, can't go? And everybody's okay with this double standard. When my white kids have all white shit, we gotta bring a black person in. But when the black kids have all black shit, they don't have to bring a white person in. We gotta fund black people's shit, but they don't even fund our shit, much less their own. There's going to be a civil war coming. And you ain't going to like it. Sean said there was another runner who was banned for missing the doping test. Thank you, RJ. Imagine being a white parent. I'm just asking y'all. I'm gonna do you like Matthew McConaughey in the movie A Time to Kill. I want all y'all to close your eyes. Close your eyes and say, your kid wants to go to college, but they assume because of your skin color, you got the money to pay for it, so your kid can't get grants. But the other kid who doesn't make straight A's like your kid still gets grants. Imagine that the other kids can exclude your kid in games and it be okay at the school. That your kids can actually say on the playground, this is only for blacks. Imagine trying to explain to your kid that your kid can be called any type or manner of evil a name. White boy, white punk, white bitch. All of these things are acceptable, but you can't even call the person black before the same type of diss. Imagine. Imagine that your child doesn't get a job because somebody who has a lower score and less qualifications has the skin color that they need, has the gender that they need. Imagine. Imagine being forced to let them move into your neighborhood, but they can force you not to be able to move into theirs, and it's perfectly legal. Imagine celebrating their achievements in a month, but you can't celebrate your own achievements in a month. Imagine knowing that your child got killed by the police officer and no one cared because they felt your child deserved it. Your child was a straight A student. Your child did not reach for anything. Your child was killed. It never made the news. Their child was reaching for something. Their child was a criminal, and it made the news. Imagine having to look at a statue of a criminal, drug addict, who died in the commission of a crime, resisting arrest, high as a kite. You have to now go and kiss this statue in order to not be attacked by that group that only knows what it's like to celebrate their criminal element, their ratchet element. Imagine. Now imagine they were doing this to blacks. White people got to sit up and watch a fucking statue of George Floyd, who didn't do shit in life. But Robert E. Lee, who actually did something, has to be taken down. Andrew Jackson, who actually did something, must be destroyed. Every one of our black icons today are motherfuckers that ain't shit. Mike Brown ain't shit. That nigga up in New York who got choked down by the cops wasn't shit. All these niggas ain't shit. All these niggas ain't shit, yet these niggas are the niggas that black people are uplifting. The black race has started to celebrate criminals because we wanted to lower the ceiling. Excuse me, we wanted to lower the floor. We lowered the floor. We didn't raise the ceiling, we lowered the floor. That's blacks. We did not raise the ceiling for our accomplishments. We lowered the floor to include more motherfuckers that shouldn't be here. And anybody that has anything worth a fuck knows that inclusion of everything ruins all things. If you throw your party in your house and it goes from, how many of y'all threw a house party and it went from your immediate friends to your immediate friends told more friends? And then they told more friends? How many of y'all have ever had that party in high school? And when they started telling more and more people and more came to the house, did it always end well or it always ended bad? Sorry, I said lower the floor to drop the eagle. They lowered the floor to drop down and get their eagle on. It always went worse. It always went worse. You always got in trouble. They always broke something. They always had the police come. It always ended bad because you included people who should not have been there. When you have a job and you include people who shouldn't have been there, when you lower the standards to let more people come in, you get worse builders, you get worse service, you get worse everything. Somebody tell me if I'm lying. This is a proven fact. When you open up the amount of people who can do this thing, it gets worse, not better. Remember, isn't it almost like when you used to go to your favorite hole-in-the-wall restaurant and it got so popular that it became a franchise? When's the last time you heard of a hole-in-the-wall restaurant going to a franchise and the food got better? When's the last time you heard it?